Silliness.
Checkmate.
Silliness.
This guy's a scammer.
Guys,
Is that a job as
I
an actual
think
scammer?
I'm going to leave, and if any girls want to leave with me, I'd be happy to take you with me.
Hold on. He's rage quitting. He's rage quitting.
It's not a rage quit. It's just you're not on the level of me
Adam,
or
in the
any
fight.
of these girls.
No, I agree.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And look, man, before I get into it, let me just say this, what I always say to you guys. I appreciate you guys, man. Everyone out there that subscribes to the channel, who comments, who likes it, who shares it, I definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much. You'll never know how much your support means to me. You are the reason why I keep doing this. You're my motivation. This is a serious video. I want to point out to you guys something. When we talk about issues on this channel, men, dating, relationships, and the dynamic in modern women, and how social media, online dating, and the society, and the dynamics that's going on with feminism, and women being masculine and men being feminine, how it's totally screwed up our relationships, our family, our marriages, and the gender roles are being flipped. It's not just the women, guys. This type of atmosphere cannot thrive if you don't have men who are complicit and quiet when it comes to certain behaviors and certain things that are being said. Like I said before, men set the standards. And when you don't have men in place who are masculine enough to set standards, then you have a failing society. So what we have now is a failing society. We have a society that is failing. Our marriages are failing. Our relationships are failing. Our children are failing. We have so many school shootings, so many mass shootings. Our incarceration rate is through the roof because not only has families broken down and marriages is broken down, but we live in a country where we actually profit off of incarceration. So we have an incentive to lock people up. So we are so broken down as a society and as a culture goes. Like, American culture is just in the toilet, to be honest. We can't keep hiding behind this fake patriotism. Like, our country is in really bad shape, and especially in the areas of marriage, family, and community. We are really broken. And again, these things can't happen if you don't have men that are complicit. And how do you get men that are complicit? You get men that are just not masculine. Men that aren't masculine don't have boundaries. They don't have standards. They don't have backbone. So they're easy to push over and just push around and just bend and twist. So if you're a man who's masculine, you're going to have find yourself in a really weird dichotomy, where if you're a masculine man, you will attract women, even women that hate you. If you look at the video I did with the liberal chick that went out on a date with the traditional conservative man, she admitted that she had an attraction for him. It's if a man is masculine, women are going to be attracted to him. I don't care what she says out of her mouth that she wants. It is a biological trait that women are attracted to masculine men. And when a masculine man walks in her presence, she's going to be attracted to him, especially when she lives in a country where most men aren't masculine. Most men are just noodleback. So this is how it happens. They put the men that are in the positions to make changes, to make laws, to pass bills. They are very feminine. They are very emasculated. They are demasculated men. They are not strong. They are not like our great-great-great-grandfathers were. So you have a bunch of men in office who are men from a biological standpoint, but they lack masculinity. They have no backbone. They have no standards. So they're just puppets. They're just being ran over and told what to do. And society has been, our culture and the things that used to make us a great country has just been flushed down the toilet. So we're going to see an individual here. You saw him at the beginning. His name is Adam 22. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't too familiar with him. I became very familiar. I started hearing his name a lot when the whole thing happened with his wife. And for you guys that don't know, Adam 22 has a wife that he let have sexual intercourse with another man, and he got a lot of flack for that because that is not the behavior of a traditional conservative man. A traditional conservative man would never do something like that. So the fact that he did that, a lot of men and a lot of women came after him, and he got called a whole bunch of names, and rightly so. This is the standard that I'm talking about. There's no way a man who's married should let his wife sleep with another man and be complicit in that behavior. But he did that, and he felt backlash, which he should have felt backlash, because this is men's jobs to set a standard on what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, so we can keep driving our society to be the best that we can be. But that's not actually what this video is about. We're going to touch on something very profound in this video. I'm going to play the video. I'll break it down as we watch it, and then I'll make it very clear to you what it is we're seeing playing out, and it's happening with men and it's happening with women. So let's get to the video.
You think
You know
that
what I
it was-
think has him a little bit upset?
What?
Just so you know, every girl sitting on this side of the table earns more money than him.
Yeah.
Stop.
He's an imposter. He's been outed in the past.
he's mad about it,
He
and
basically
he's mad.
LARPs as a
Honestly,
rich guy on the internet.
If I was
And-
out,
So Adam opens up with, every woman on this panel makes more money than this individual. Now, this guy is a podcaster. His name is the Sinner and the Saint. I don't know his real name. But Adam opens up with, every woman on this panel makes more money than him. Just to give you a little backstory, the women on this panel are in the OnlyFans. I don't know if it's all of them. Like, if you look at the girl with the heart locket on her neck, she may not do OnlyFans, and then maybe the rest of them. I'm not sure. Or the girl in the red, she may not do OnlyFans, and then maybe the rest of them. Usually, the way they set it up on a whatever podcast, usually the people who sit on, damn it, I forget the host's name. He's in the flannel shirt. I forget his name. Usually, the people that sit on his side tend to be the conservative people. The people who sit on the other side of the table are the everything else under the sun. They're the liberals, Democrats, OnlyFans, all kinds of crazy stuff. So the fact that the girl in the red is sitting on that side of the table lets me know that she's conservative. And she actually looks conservative. You look at how she dresses, she's actually conservative. You could tell a girl in the white top, not so much. She's got cleavage out, showing a lot of cleavage. And now the girl, I think about the girl with the locket, heart locket, she may also be conservative based off of the way she's dressed. So that's usually how he sets this up. So going off of how Brian, that's his name, going off of how Brian sets up his podcast, it's safe to assume that everyone that sits on his side are conservative. Everyone else that sits on the other side, they're not. And when I say conservative, I'm not talking about political parties. I'm just talking about moral stances and how you live your life, how you see family, marriage, and that whole thing. So, Adam leads off with, every girl in this room makes more money than this individual. And this is what I want to point out to you guys. When women say things like, when you ask a woman to rate herself, and she gives herself a 10, and then you ask her why she's a 10, she goes on a whole soliloquy of why she's a 10. Because she has her own business, she graduated from college, she's funny, she's smart, she's dependable, she'll tell you these whole slew list of things. But women know, they know, this is not a delusion what I'm about to tell you. They know that their worth is rooted in their looks and in their purity. They know this. When they name all this other stuff and say body count shouldn't matter, and when they say all this other garbage, they're saying it to deflect, because they know deep down inside that their worth is attached to the way they look, to their youth, and to their purity. They know this. This is why women shame other women. What do? Talk about their looks, talk about her outfit, talk about her hair, talk about her makeup, talk about how many men she slept with. She's a slut. She's a whore. This is women language when they're trying to shame another woman. With men, it's money, it's resources, it's your status. Adam says all these women at this table make more than him. This is a shaming tactic. This is how men shame men, by saying you're broke, you don't make money. Now, women do this too. You're a brokey, you don't make money, blah, 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 blah. But this is also what men do. Men shame other men, and this is how they do it. How much money you make and with your status. So men and women know where their worth lies. But I'm going to go deeper on this subject. But first, let's get back to the video.
Absolutely
on
poor would
behalf
mean
of
nothing.
all the girls,
It would mean nothing.
I think we all are in kind of an
That's
agreement that
amazing.
we don't really want to sit here and listen to someone who's basically a scam artist tell us what's wrong with our
Yeah,
lives.
This is amazing.
What do you do
So
for
this
work?
is amazing.
How do you make
on the
money?
edge of
What do you do
walking
for
out,
work?
Brian. I'm gonna be totally
What do
real.
you do for work?
And I'm not walking out on like a
What do you do
I'm
for
in
work?
utter
I
poverty.
just don't
No, what
really
do you
want to
do for
listen to a
work?
scam artist
You
tell me
can-
what's so
what do you
wrong
do
with
for
our
work?
Google my
lifestyles,
name.
right?
Now, if you pay attention, the girl in the pink here, the Satanist Sinner was arguing with her. Hardcore. He basically told her because she does OnlyFans, she's not really providing any value or, she's not really providing or bringing any value to society, to the world, because she's an OnlyFans worker. So they got into a heated debate and a heated argument, and it really wasn't a debate, to be honest with you. He was really crushing her and saying some really would be inflammatory things to her because she's the one in the OnlyFans space. So Adam attacks Satanist Sinner's money, his resources or lack thereof. The girl in the pink, who Satanist Sinner's been arguing with, now she starts joining in and she starts asking the questions. What do you do? You're a scammer. What are you worth? How much are you worth? What do you do? And she's behaving like this now because she's taking the lead or picking up the lead that Adam led with. This is why I'm saying women can only behave and do what they do today because there's men like Adam who allow them to behave in this manner with no repercussions. This is how it happens. You put the men who are in position of power and influence to make laws, to pass laws, to set standards, to enforce standards, when they are not masculine, when they are not real men, when they don't have strong character, this kind of behavior is allowed, and not even allowed, it's celebrated and it's tolerated. She was not talking like this and attacking this guy's resources or how much money he made until Adam set in on it. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, and what I want to point out to you, is that as men, our position as leaders, we set the example. Women will follow what we say. They have no choice because men are physically more powerful than women. That's really what it comes down to. When you get to the core of what this is about, there is a reason why other countries clamor and they have nuclear war projects. There's a reason for that. Because the country that holds the most nukes is the country that holds the most power. This is why every country wants to get it. This is why the United States has a vested interest in stopping countries that they are against from getting nuclear weapons, because they do not want them to have the same capabilities to launch and cause havoc that we do. At the basic foundation of men and women, men are physically stronger than women. So if it came down to a case of survival or animalistic, an apocalypse, whatever you want to call it, the man would win because we are physically stronger. We are faster, we are stronger, our endurance, everything. So at the base of it all, men lead, women follow. But when the men who are in charge of leading are not men, or they are not masculine, then they are overpowered by women. The women wind up leading them, and the men wind up following. And we have a society now where women are leading And our marriages, our families, child rearing, and a whole slew of other things, dating, relationships, is going into the toilet. So, I want to make that very clear. But we're still going to go a little bit deeper. Let's get back to the video.
And you can Google
I don't
my
fucking
name
know who
right
you
now.
are.
You
Let's-
can Google my name.
If you
right
Google
now.
his
Does anyone
name,
know this guy's name?
you'll
And
be
I heard-
exhilarated.
I hurt your feelings earlier, and
You didn't hurt my
I
feelings
did
at
hurt
all.
your
It's just you're
feelings
trying
earlier.
to
And
do
the
this whole
chat
moral
is hurting your
superiority
feelings.
thing, and it's not
The
working
whole
because
chat is
you're
hurting
broke.
your feelings. The
You're
whole chat is-
actually broke.
Here's the
You-
fun.
There he goes again. You're broke. You're actually broke. And I keep stopping at this when he says that, because I'm trying to drive the point home that this is how men shame other men. Men know that their value is predicated on their resources and their status. This is why Adam keeps saying that. So as men know what their value is at and where it lies, women know as well. Women know it is their looks. Women know that it is their youth. That's why they have the term, my biological clock is ticking. What does that mean? Well, I'm getting older. If I want to find a good man and if I want to have a family, children, I need to get moving now. Because as I get older, my looks start to fade, my looks start to slip, and my ability to have children starts to be reduced. They know this. So all these women up here that's on OnlyFans, when Brian asks them the question, do you think being on OnlyFans is going to hurt you from being able to find a man you want? Do you think being on OnlyFans is going to hurt you from being able to get married? And when they come up here and say, well, the type of guy I want is not going to worry or care I was on OnlyFans, or the type of guy I want is not going to care how many guys I slept with. This is all BS. They know damn well what their value is, and they know damn well what men value in them and what value society places on women. The problem is when society flips and becomes this clown world that we have now, women are now operating under the false pretense that they can do these things and still have worth. And we have a society and a culture that's telling them that, but guess what? The men aren't buying it. Not the men they want. The masculine men, traditional men, are not buying it, and they never will. That is the point of being a masculine man. We at our core are repulsed by women who sleep with a lot of men. We at our core are repulsed by women who give their bodies and their sexuality to other people or put it on display for other men. That instinctively turns us off the way it instinctively turns off a woman who has to take care of a man financially. This can only happen in this clown world because you have men like Adam. And I don't mean to pick Adam out, but Adam is a symbol. He is a symbol of the type of men that we have permeating in society that allows this type of foolishness.
You got a milk dud on top of your head.
Here's the funny thing.
I'm just being real with you.
If I was actually broke, it literally would mean nothing to me.
Then let's have them
Why
present.
did you
If
do
I
an
still had
NFT
a
scam
phone,
on your fans for like
if I still
$400?
Silliness.
see.
Checkmate.
Silliness.
This guy's a scammer.
Guys,
Is
silliness.
that his job? Is he
I
an actual
think
scammer?
I'm gonna leave, and if any of you girls want to leave
wait,
with me,
wait,
I'd be happy to take you with me.
He's rage quitting. He's rage quitting.
It's not a rage quit. It's just you're not on the level
He's
of
rage
me
quitting.
or
Adam, in the
any
fight,
of
in
these
the-
girls.
oh, I
Rage
quit.
quitting.
Guys, hold on.
So Adam said that this guy, the Saint and the Sinner, is not on a level of him and all these other women here. So these women that's sitting on his side is on OnlyFans. He said that he is not on the same level as them and himself. Well, what level is Adam on?
You suddenly got labeled as a cuckold. Right. And I just want to say, I blame you for putting this term into the zeitgeist out there, because remember Elon Musk said Zuck is a cuck.
Yeah.
Which happened right after your situation. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm connecting the dots here.
But I bet if you look at the usage of the word cuck over the last like 10 years, that it was already spiking pretty significantly before my whole thing, because that is a word that I feel like 5 years ago, you almost never heard people use. And then over the past couple years, I've just seen people using it so much more. Like even my friend Destiny, who's a streamer, he has an open relationship with his wife where she can sleep with other men and he can sleep with other women, but they never see it. You know, he's never going to see a video of his wife fucking another man. But people call him a cuck constantly on social media, even though to me, that doesn't even come close to fitting the definition of a cuck. To me, I don't think I actually am, because the definition of cuck that I'm familiar with is that it's kind of like a humiliation thing, that you want to feel small. You want to like watch a dude who's bigger than you fuck your girl because it's going to make you feel like, you know, in some way diminished. And that was never the intent for us. Number one, it was just a money decision. You know, we decided to do this because we thought it was a good business idea.
What level exactly is Adam talking about? He said that that man was not on the same level as him and the other women at that table. But what level is Adam talking about? This is the same man who let his wife sleep with another man, and he says he did it for money. They both did it for money. He let his wife sleep with another man on camera for the world to see, and he did it for money. There's no wonder why he has been shamed, persecuted, ridiculed, judged, lost his respect, lost his reputation. And then he names a very close friend of his by the name of Destiny, who also has an open relationship and lets his girlfriend or wife, his wife, I think it's his wife, and now they're getting a divorce, I think, who lets his wife sleep with other people. You notice how people, if you want to know, and this is general, if you notice, people who are one way usually hang with other people who are the same way. You would never catch a masculine man, a traditional masculine man, having friends who let their wives sleep with other men. They don't run in the same social circles. You won't catch a hyena running with a pack of lions. It doesn't happen. They're not the same. They're not of the same elk. They're not cut from the same cloth. Same way with men. Men tend to hang with other men who have the same core values as them. So when Adam says he's not on our level, I don't know what level he's talking about. The only thing we can deduce is he's talking about money. And this is going to drive me to a very, very important point here that I want you guys to get. Get it down inside your spirit, get it in your mind, get it in your heart. Women look at men as a utility, and they think men's worth is based on their resources and their status. Adam thinks the same thing. He thinks a man's worth is based on his resources. He kept calling him broke. He kept saying he didn't have any money. This is true when we're looking at it from a worldly perspective, from a worldview. But I want to let you know, if you are a man that don't make a lot of money, you're not a multimillionaire, you don't drive a Maybach, you don't drive a Bugatti, you're not rolling up in the S500 or any of this other stuff, a Lambo, the world will put a label on you and say you're not worth this, you're not worth that, and women will do it too. But what I want you to understand and get down in your spirit is that when someone like him and someone like the women at that table tell you don't have your worth, consider the source. Most of the jobs in this country that pay an enormous amount of money could not be done if it wasn't for the others. I'm going to use a sports analogy. I like all sports. Basketball is one of my favorite. Every team that's ever won a championship always had great players and always had role players. And in our society, the men who make an enormous amount of money will be considered the star players. The men that don't make a whole lot of money will be considered the role players. But if you talk to any athlete, any Hall of Famer who's won the championship, especially what comes to mind immediately is Shaquille O'Neal. He will always tell you that without the others, you can't win. It don't matter how great you are. It don't matter how many points you score. If you don't have the others, you're not winning the championship. That's how team sports work. That's how this world works. Whether you play baseball, whether you're an investment banker, I don't care what you do. You work out of an office. Someone built that office. Someone built that chair that you're sitting in. Someone created that desk that you sit at. Someone created that laptop. Someone put the chips in there, the motherboard, the memory. There's a whole lot of others that go into how the society runs. Women and men, as you see, place a high value on money, a high value on status. But the men in this world who have high value from a wealth standpoint, a monetary standpoint, and status, would not be able to have it, and would not be able to secure it and maintain it if it wasn't for the others. This is why we need to have respect for the others, because it's the others that allow us to make an enormous amount of money. Not me, I don't make an enormous amount of money, but I mean guys that do make an enormous amount of money. It's the others that allow it. If it wasn't for the others, you wouldn't be able to do it. The others built that Maybach. The others built that Lambo that you're driving. The others built that BMW. The others built that toilet. The others ran the electrical design throughout your house, the wiring, all that stuff. That was done by the others. So if you are an other, you are the grease in the machine. You are the oil in the engine. The car goes nowhere without you, without the others. So don't let guys like Adam, don't let women at that table tell you and try to determine to you your value. Yes, we live in reality. Men, we know that we are looked at as valuable based on our resources and our status. We know that. We can't deny that. I'm not trying to sell you an idealistic way of living your life. What I'm trying to instill inside of you is a confidence that when the world tells you that you're not this, know that you are that. You being a role player, you being an other, is very important, and you have value, and you are worth it. Whether you're broke, really broke, or desperately broke, we need others. We cannot survive and go on as a country without the others. When women want to shame other women, they attack their body count and their looks. When men want to attack other men, they attack their money count and their status. Know your worth, guys. We need the others. And whenever someone is saying, what Adam 22 is saying, or these girls at this panel is saying, always consider the source. Never take it to heart or take it personal when someone of his status says that you're something or says that you're not something. Because although a lot of you guys may not be a lot of things, I think it's safe to say all of you guys, if not most of you guys, would not let your wife sleep with another man on video for money. But we live in a clown world where people can do things like this and actually come on here and say that you're not on their level. So guys, let me know what you think. Leave your comments below, like, share, and if you are one of the others, put a thumbs up down there, man, because we need the others. I'm an other. I'll admit it. I'm an other, and I don't have a problem with that. So comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hold on. He's rage quitting. He's rage quitting. It's not a rage quit. It's just
You're not on the level
He's
of
rage
me
quitting.
or
Adam,
any
in
of
the
these
line.
girls.
No, I agree.